So it's the morning after, and I am beat. I just got done unloading the car and putting everything away. And we were about to start editing the videos from last night. But I wanted to do this before we did that, because certain things need to be put into perspective before you watch the video. And you also have to keep in mind something on this channel. We don't hide anything. We run things the way they happen. And because, you know, part of the experience, the learning experience, if you're going to try to like lead people, guide people, help people, teach people, you have to show them everything, warts and all, and that's what we do. So, that said, last night was Lamb Chop's first time running Bottle Rocket. Now keep this in mind, we went to the track only with the idea of getting him acquainted with the car and going A to B. We figured we would get probably 3 passes because the track has been crowded lately, but there was time to make more than that, so I'll get to that in a minute. But the experience of last night reminded me a lot of when I first got my 5-liter Mustang. This was back in the late 80s. And I had been, up to that point, I had been street racing Chrysler products, B-body Mopars, 4-speeds, and they take a fair amount of aggression and agility to actually get moving. So when I got the Mustang, first time I took it to the track, it was actually the first night that I had the car. My first lap with the thing, I went like 16 something, whatever it was. Second lap, I went like 1590, whatever, you know. Actually, you can go read the story. We've got it posted on UncleTony'sGarage.com, 5 liters of fury. Whatever the numbers were, it didn't make any difference. It was slow, right? And I'm like, my God, this car is a turd. And it's because I was trying to drive it the way I had trained myself to drive the Mopars. The Mustang took a completely different approach, where with the 4-speed Mopars, you actually had, there was body language involved in body English involved in all of that, right? Aggression. Get the car to transfer, hook, bang that gear, right? With the Mustang was all finesse. So as I learned that, as I learned how to drive the Mustang, the ETs dropped down into the 14s, down into the 13s, and I eventually went 1343 at 101 miles an hour with a completely stock car, just driving it. There was almost 3 seconds of ET, just making that transition from the 4-speed Mopar to the 5-speed Mustang. And that reminded me a lot of what Lamb Chop went through last night. So keep these things in mind. The car had shit tires on it. Just some skins that I had laying around that we threw on the car just to, you know, because again, we weren't going for ET, we just wanted him to get used to driving the car. I had the timing way back on it. It was jetted fat. It was a warm night last night. There wasn't a lot of air, but it was jetted fat, and it didn't make any difference because we weren't going for ET. That wasn't the point. You're also going to see that as the night goes on, I start to get frustrated, and I make comments about he has no aggression, right? And I was getting frustrated. In fact, like I was yelling at him at the station, yelling at him in the station meetings at one point, and you have to keep something in mind. Lamb Chop is, now he beat the cancer, but he's on these drugs right now, this medicine that has this effect on him, and he has good days and he has bad days. Yesterday was an okay day, but his bad days, like he can't move, he's like paralyzed. He has no real strength, he has no real endurance or anything like that. And just the fact that he dragged himself to the track last night and did what he did, you know, is to his credit. Everything is to his credit. The first pass on the car, it had what did he have, like a 4.5 second 60-foot time. You know what I mean? Because he just didn't know what he was doing. It was the first time. And like I said, as the night went on, I started to get frustrated, and I lost sight of the fact that he is sick, and this is his first time, and the car is not set up to make ET or anything like that. Now on the flip side, there was one shift that he pulled that was fairly decent. It wasn't a power shift, it was more of a speed shift, and the car actually broke the tires on the second gear shift, and he's not experienced. He didn't know to just drive it through, so what he did was he backed off. It sounds like he shifts third gear at that point, but no, he's just backing way off the throttle and then getting back into it, And again, because it's a vacuum secondary carburetor, it takes time to recover. What I was extremely pleased with is the car's half-track performance. Once it gets past that, once it got past that issue, you know, at about 200 feet out or so, the thing storms. It makes all the right sounds. It makes all the right moves. The car is like, it's you know, the potential is there. Now, one other thing, we need to address this. This is important because, see, there's all the know-it-alls in the comments. Why not you put a closed ratio transmission in the car? The reason that car is set up with that particular transmission is because it has a 309 first gear and then a very long second gear. The car is set up to run on nitrous. It's not supposed to make any numbers normally aspirated. It's specifically set up to run on nitrous. And the reason we went with that long second gear that's in that transmission is so that it doesn't have to be shifted. So the car can leave on first gear, all motor, get moving, and then on the second gear shift, spray it, and then there's no more shifting. It'll run like a power glide and go through in second gear under power, right? So that's why that transmission is in there. That's why there is such a drop between first and second. So keep that in mind. We're still a long way away from being able to spray it. I'm thinking that we're going to have to take at least one more outing with the car, the way it was last night, to get Lamb Chop really in tune with it. We're going to put better tires on the car for him so he can launch it more aggressively. And I'm thinking it'll probably be the third or fourth time before we can start to get a really normally, you know, a really good normal aspirated tune, and from that point we can spray it. So if you guys are following along on this series, be patient. We'll get the results we're looking for. I have no doubt in my mind the car has a 10-second quarter-mile ET in it with the driver dialed in, the suspension, tires dialed in, and spraying it. It's just there, no question. Just be patient and we will get there. Alright, so here's what happened last night.
Hi. Hey Tony.
What's up, Lammy?
I made it.
So if you tune into this video expecting to see something spectacular, click away now, because you're not going to see it. Tonight's our first night at the track with Bottle Rocket. And the mission here is to go A to B a few times, as many times as we can, and just see what's going to go on with the car. Lamb Chop's got to get used to driving it, he's got to get used to this track, so A to B is all we're looking for. And we're doing this in phases, so tonight is just the initial shakedown. The next time we come out, we'll try to establish a baseline and a baseline tune-up on it, and then we'll start spraying it and see what kind of numbers we can get out of it. But again, like I said, for tonight, simple A to B. So for you guys that aren't familiar with this car, this is Project Bottle Rocket, and there's a playlist. You can see the whole Project Bottle Rocket playlist. And it covers from the time that we rescued this thing from the junkyard or scrapyard. We paid $300 for it, built it. We've got about 3,000 into it.
It was a journey.
It was a journey. And it was your first build.
Yep.
You know? So we finished it just in time for the tracks to close for the winter last year. The tracks closed, and when they were supposed to open, we had the lockdown, so they were closed again. And then during the lockdown, we discovered that Lammy had cancer, which he has beaten.
I'm doing my best. Oh, yeah.
So he's beating it. He's a little bit beat up by the drugs I got him on now. What the heck are you on?
Now I'm on a study drug. I took all the chemo they could give me and the cancer was negative, but they're trying to get rid of anything that might make it come back, and that's taking a toll on me pretty heavy. Hell, I thought I was going to die 2 weeks ago. I couldn't breathe. It was bad, but feeling a little better now.
So we're going to get this thing warmed up, and then we'll check in with you guys as the night goes on.
Yeah.
All right. wanna go? Hey, if you're only more car purist, look, the build sheet.
I tell you what, you see Sunday lane clears the track. Right now, everybody line up in lane 3 or 4.
It's warm.
It is.
It's warm down here in Tennessee today.
Alright, so remember, we got just regular street tires on there. Go around the water. Just pop the clutch and clean the dirt off of them, right? Don't try to kill it off the starting line. Just ease it off. Pay attention to the shift light. It's set at like 5,500. I don't want to go any past that until we put the deeper oil pan on it because it sucks the oil, all the oil out of the pan. So pay attention to that. Granny shift it. Don't try to kill. Just drive it down the track.
Just take a cruise.
Just take a cruise down the track. Watch the shift light.
Watch my port.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Ain't that creepy? Ow.
I don't believe I did that. Onward home. All you did was spin the tires and then it took forever to shift.
I was watching the light. I was waiting on it to go blink.
Drive it off the starting line easier and then way into it, right? When you see the light, shift. Yep.
Take off real slow or?
Well, you saw what happened. All it did was just spin the tires. It actually smoked the tires.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Couldn't get this thing damn fast and they were all over me. Scrap pad. They won't breathe.
Alright. We'll shut it off right now and let it just coast up. Shut it off. You gotta just drive it off easy, right? Then stand on it. If you feel like it's spinning the tires, back off. You know what I'm saying? It sounded real good when you were in second gear, right? After that initial, like, you know,
yeah, the drop.
What's up?
The drop.
Yeah. It sounded like it was put on like a stick. You could hear it was working. You know what I mean? It was working. All right, I bumped up the light to 5,800. Okay. It left good. It left
I thought I
good.
spun again after I left. I got in it and I was like, damn it!
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Okay, this is what we gotta do. I'm gonna fix. I gotta put something on this clutch linkage to keep it from pulling away. Right. There's a 3/4 inch breaker bar. There's a breaker bar with a 3/4 inch socket in the top of that toolbox over there. One full turn on this torsion bar.
All right.
You know what, Al? One full turn on this torsion bar and half a turn on the other torsion bar.
1.5.
One full, one half.
All right.
Ah!
So here's the score so far. First pass is a 4 foot, 60 foot time. It smoked the tires and he let off of it early. Granny shifted it early, but the thing motored through really nice in second gear. It sounded solid. Second time around, car left decent. I don't know what the 60 foot was. Does make a difference. He shifted when I told him to when the light went on. I gave him another 500 RPM. It was too soon. And then he also shifted too soon before the finish line. So this time around, we gave it another 500 RPM on the shift light, and we raised the torsion bars a little bit, which should give it a little bit more bite on it all. And we'll see what happens. Round number 3 coming up. Got no aggression in him. He's just like, well, he's doing what I told him to do. I told him to drive it out easy. Now I'm gonna like amp him up a little bit, you know, attack it, shift a little harder, and I think it'll go. Because the car from as soon as it's in second gear, it pulls hard. It sounds great, but we've got nothing happening down here. So I'm gonna go get my Teflon. I mean, you're used to the car, you're used to the track, everything's steering right, everything's normal, right? Push it and see what happens.
I'll do it.
Break it, I don't fucking care.
I'll do it.
You know? I'm just afraid of over-revving it, because like I said, we got to put a deeper pan on this.
Yeah.
No question about it. But for right now, I'm just worried about over-revving it. But don't worry about breaking the transmission, don't worry
Y'all
about
see me whoop that truck?
No doing, cowboy. So on that last one, I thought he shifted third gear. But what happened was when he hit second, it broke the tires. He let off completely, got back into it. So he actually did run it through in second gear. So the tires that we have on this car are just not working at all tonight. He's gonna try leaving a little harder and a little more slip on the clutch, but when he banged second that time, I said round 4 coming up. You just go, and the car's just going, No, you got to seriously clean them off. You got all of it, and then
So you want it to spin when I'm doing that?
Yes, you got to clean the tires off. You pop the clutch, you spin the tires.
My grandma don't spin her tires.
No, this thing will spin the tires right off the fucking rims. And then you're not leaving with any sort of like, I know. Like, okay, if you dump the clutch, you're not going to go anywhere. It's just going to spin the tires, right? But you got to give it a little more RPM, a little more aggressiveness, and that shifter, you got to pull that shifter a little tighter, because it's like you got from a third, the first third of the track, right? There's nobody home. The second 2/3, this thing's moving like a fucking, like you could see it's working, you know what I'm saying? The car's fucking working. So it's all in how you're getting this thing off, you know what I mean? More aggressive, more aggressive.
I feel like I'm just gonna knock the tires off of it.
If you knock the tires off, just don't let it fucking, you know, freewheel, you know what I'm saying? But if, I mean, go ahead and try to knock them off. The car is, it's transferring weight, but you're not, there's no follow through to it. You follow me? And then, it's hard to explain. I'll explain it to you another time, but for right now, just focus on a little more RPM, a little more rapid, you know what I mean? Swapping of feet. And you're shifting second gear at the light? Is that what's happening?
The light comes on, I go 1, 2, and then shifting it.
Into second?
No, into second, yeah, second I'm waiting the light, and then I'm shifting.
I'm going to give you another couple hundred RPM here. I mean, we don't really have the oil capacity for very much RPM. The car will have a deep pan on it next time we do this. But, you know what I'm saying? Right? Hit it. Brake the car. Brake the car.
Always bye.
Hey, I don't know what happened. Oh, come on. See? This is what I'm talking about. Motherfucker.
You need left front wheel come up?
Yeah, I know. But he's not.
Yeah, I know.
He's not taking advantage of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's got torque in it, that's for sure.
It's got torque and it has reaction, but he's not in the motherfucker.
The big thing is he's afraid he's going to spin the tires like he did the first time.
Spin the tires.
That's what I told him. I said, blow tires off.
It's frustrating. It's, you know what I mean? He's learning.
He's learning.
He's learning.
At least we done so far the car's all together.
It was better. Be encouraging.
Yeah.
Barely. No. Listen to me. You're leaving a full second on the starting line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're leaving a full second on the starting line. This car is working like a bastard from fucking 300 feet out. See, you can hear it, the car is working well. You're leaving a full second on the starting line. Listen to me. Brake this car. Do not listen to me, right? If I can drive this on the trailer, I'm going to be pissed at you. Alright? Brake the fucking car. You're cleaning the tires off? That's how you're supposed to do that.
Did I do the tire cleaning right?
You didn't you did no tire cleaning. None. You went like this. You went. No. The way you left is the way you should have cleaned the tires. Now there's a good chance because you didn't clean the tires, that's why it freewheeled the way it did. See what I'm saying? When you feel it freewheeling like it was doing, don't shift Take your foot off the gas a little bit, pedal it back a little bit, like drive it out. You'll feel it. You know what I'm saying? Right? And then you follow me? It's like a feel. It's a feel. Okay, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. The learning curve is hard. Okay, but you're gonna get it. But listen to me, right? Listen to me. The way you left is the way I want you to clean the tires off. Okay? And next time, when you feel it, like leave like that again, okay? But when ours come up the way, like that, don't take your foot off the gas, just pedal back on the gas a little bit. It'll catch traction. When you feel the car start to move forward, that's when you get back into the gas. Then shift. You follow me? The car is working phenomenal from
once I get out of the hole.
2/3 of the track, right? 2/3 of the track. The car is just like, you can hear it. It's like it wants to fucking eat. You know what I'm saying? Everything right now is just getting it off the start line. Next time we'll have tires on the car. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It'll be set to be more aggressive. But you know, it's important to drive the car with bad tires. You know, or the wrong tires. It'll make it that much easier when you get good stuff on there. You know what I'm saying? Focus. 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 You're filming all this? She films everything.
Learning process.
It is a learning process.
I've never raced a stick before in my life.
It's all right. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's frustrating watching it. That's why I'm getting all wound up. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know what I mean? I understand, you know? And like I said, see, I'm the asshole here, okay? Because I said at the beginning of all of this that, you know, the whole point was just to go A to B a few times. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's just going A to B. He's just going A to B. He's doing what he's, you know? But it's like, I see and I hear the car's potential. It's a strong runner. He's just not. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna amaze everybody this time.
I'm a rookie stick driver.
You're gonna amaze everybody this time. The way you left, that's how I want you to clean the tires, right? And then again, when you leave, come a little softer off the clutch. A little softer off the clutch, because you gotta get the car to transfer. And it does that. You can watch it when you clean the tires, the car goes like this. You know, so it's wanting to fucking transfer the weight. A little easier on the clutch. A little easier off the clutch. Let's stand on it. You know what I'm saying? And if it breaks the tires loose, pedal back just a little bit. But don't shift yet. Just pedal back. When you feel the car start to move, then you can shift.
Alright.
What's the jump is that? Little 11 on there, man. Everybody run 11 seconds. I look slicks at the house. They won't hurt Cody's feelings. You're like 60. I'm going to 614.
You couldn't out 60 foot my slowest time with 180 shot, fuck 351.
Leave him to Zen. Shut the lights. Leave him to Zen.
Huh? Where the trailer?
Oh, I think my helmet weighs 20 pounds more from all the sweat. Good Lord, I feel like a NASCAR driver. Oh, I don't know. I can't match what I done when I did the 9.
Because you're new to this. You're new to this. And actually, we should have been in the 8s.
Oh, I agree.
You're giving away 2 seconds easy on the on the start line and the shift. But it's not entirely your fault. It's not entirely your fault. These tires are not, again, the purpose of coming here was to go A to B a few times and you get acquainted with the car and the track.
You know.
You got acquainted with the car and the track. You feel comfortable with it?
Oh yeah.
All right. So now it's my
A little
job.
discouraged at myself.
No, that's
but,
okay.
But you know.
Listen, it's in one piece. Okay. My job is to give you traction, and I'm also going to give you some more RPM the next time around. So, figure 2 weeks, we'll regroup, we'll get back out here and do it again. So, I mean, you made a bunch of passes. It didn't hurt itself. Everything is like, you know, no leaks, no nothing falling off the car.
The one before this, the steering was a little wonky there on the big end. It was a little scary.
Steering, that's no big deal. Just
stress steering.
you don't get there. All right. So, anything you want to say to anything you want to say to the people?
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I think it was a success. We came, we made laps. We're going home with the car in one piece.
I've never raced a stick before.
We know the shortcomings of the driver and we know the shortcomings of the car. So we're going to give him a better setup to come out with next time, and we're actually going to try to get a baseline tune-up on the car. There's no question in my mind, you know, it's got real potential. It's got real potential. We should have filmed a couple of runs from down here. You know that? So, but at any rate, there you go.
Just edit, you know, up to about, I don't know, the 300 foot. Just show the last part.
What was the best number of the night? Because everybody's like, oh, numbers.
And
then you get these, you're gonna get, 9 something.
And that was leaving like a turd. On my fault, but
that's right.
I'm new to the stick, so.
Did the car feel good?
It did feel really good.
Feel solid, strong, pulls hard the whole way through? Next time out, we're gonna get an 8 second clip. And then you're gonna start spraying it. Ooh. So you gotta remember something. One of the reasons why he's having problems with the second gear shift is because
it's the cancer.
No. Listen. We've got the overdrive transmission in here, which has a 309 first gear, and it has an extremely big drop between first and second. And the reason we did that is because the car is intended to run on nitrous. We're making runs just on just, you know,
motor now.
Right. And barely motor. I mean, there's only 30 degrees of timing in here. It's not jetted for anything, and you got no traction. So there are handicaps. But again, the idea was to get you acquainted with the car and get it down the track. But what we did.
Are y'all gonna laugh at me all the way home?
No. What I did see was proof of concept though, because the idea was to use that transmission with the long second gear so that there wouldn't have to be a shift anywhere else on the track. And you could spray it the whole way. So as far as I'm concerned, proof of concept is there. The car drove through in second gear every time. And that's where we wanted to be.
The last two, I went to third there. I mean, like almost before the line, because it kind of felt like it wasn't pulling no more, so I grabbed another one. It was like right at the end of the.
We learned a lot. Did you learn a lot?
I think so.
All right. What do you got to say about the people? It only went whatever it went. What are you going to say to them?
Look at these tires. Look at these feet and hands. Come on now.
Excuses. Nothing but excuses.
Yeah, that's what I got. How many you need?
Back.
I got a book.
See you tomorrow.